Hello everyone and welcome back to the Armchair podcast. This week we're going to talk about the Arsenal versus Manchester City result and some of the other results in the Premier League. But firstly, you are going to get our immediate reaction to Arsenal against Manchester City. Another game in the so-called title race. It's a big game. We've had a lot of big games against Man City. They've sort of been our rival as of late, but the last couple of years they've dropped off. And it seems like this year they've dropped off as well. They've lost to Spurs this season. They just don't look the same. Rodri's just coming back after injury. The only thing that sort of is looking normal for City at the minute is Haaland. Even Pep doesn't look normal. And yeah, we've got off the back of a weird game and a 1-1 draw, which is obviously very disappointing from an Arsenal point of view. I just want to get your take on the game, Josh.
Very similar feeling to the one that came from the result at Anfield, where you feel like it was just a missed opportunity again. I don't feel like there's anything else. I don't see how you could have any other take from that game, to be honest. I think we were too cautious again in the first half. I can't help but think that the lineup and the selection was a bit off. But to be honest, it was more than that. It was also just how we played in the first half particularly. But even throughout the game, I just thought we were just.
So I want to start off again with the lineup because it feels like deja vu with Arteta. So when we lost against Liverpool, that was sort of the final straw for me to sort of say that was the wake up call to be like, right, we need to actually start playing attacking free flowing football. Take the handbrake off. Like Josh said, it felt like your car was clamped. Forget a handbrake. It feels like we're playing with blocks on our wheels. It's blocks instead of wheels. So obviously you thought that's a, you know what I mean? That is that's a wake up call. So I thought surely Arteta now he took Eze off, but surely he'll start him now and we'll kick into gear now. And we've got City, so if we win basically after that, if we keep winning after that Liverpool game, it's fine. It can be forgotten. We can make up for it.
It is at Anfield, like at the end of the day.
I don't care.
Obviously, I was angry about it because of. I wasn't angry about losing at Anfield as well, like necessarily. It was just the fact of how we played.
People
it was
know,
the manner of the result.
yeah. So what we're saying is that we didn't go for it at Anfield. Fair enough. We'll let you off we'll give you a pass on that because it's Anfield.
Yeah.
But again, the lineup comes out today, and I think every Arsenal fan in the stadium and us at home because we're Armchair fans, of course, are just looking at this going, what the hell is this lineup? And look, again, I haven't got a problem with Mourinho as a player. I think he's a great player on his day. He's obviously in form for Spain. He can score goals. We played him up front. He did a job for us. But my issue is he's not known for his creativity. He's probably known for his duel winning and his solidity.
Well, he's known for being a world-class
his decision making. Yeah, and also his decisions in the box. Right, he's a box-to-box midfielder. But we've already got Rice as the box-to-box midfielder, and Zubimendi's not a creative playmaker. So you're crying out for a creativity in this game. We're at home. You think we'd be on the front foot, and again, he persists with this midfield of Marino, with the Marino in it. I know Rice didn't have his best game today, or Zubimendi, but to be honest, the problem starts from there. So Arteta essentially has bottled it again, in my opinion.
I mean, even if I don't know if it's even bottling it. I just don't,
is it not? Do you not think?
I just don't understand where, from what he's seen from that midfield three, and from what we've seen from Mourinho in midfield. I rate Mourinho. I think he has a role to play in the squad. In the squad, I think he's been reliable. Particularly centre forward. I mean, you can't fault him. But every time we've seen him in midfield, he's just not done enough. When we brought him in, he was a bit lacklustre. I know he started with an injury to his career, at Arsenal, but he has been a bit lacklustre in midfield. I just don't understand what he brings to the midfield. And as you mentioned, what we seem to miss in the midfield at the minute is creativity. He doesn't fulfil that.
No, the thing is, I know what he brings to the midfield, and it's not creativity. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying
no, but Mourinho, I don't. Yeah, I mean, go on. Yeah,
Mourinho's a good player. I don't. It's more. So this is not on the players. This is on Arteta's selections and as a manager. The results. It's not the players. You see what happens when Eze and Saka came on. They completely changed the game. We were on the front foot. We absolutely dominated possession. Eze, amazing ball over the top. Martinelli gets on the end of it and scores. But you could see we were a lot more creative when Eze was in the centre there. My question to you is, Josh, why does Arteta seem to continuously go with this pragmatic approach to games instead of starting his brand new £65 million signing, who was the star man for Crystal Palace? Ask me that question. Because you can't tell me that Ødegaard wouldn't have started that game if he wasn't injured.
Yeah,
he would have started.
It's a good
So
point.
this is my point. So why is Eze not starting? And you can't blame it on because Eze hasn't adapted to the system yet. So this is the thing now. Arteta is too cautious. Is Arteta too cautious of a manager to win us a Premier League title or any major trophy?
Because I don't know. I don't know about the Champions League. Okay, let me answer your question. I think, in fairness, in big games, you can't fault his record. And I think that's what's quite frustrating, because before these last two games, in terms of, I'm talking about this City result and the Anfield result, I've actually really always liked how Arteta seems to approach big games. Yeah, he's been seen as too cautious, but we've seen that he can go at teams. So that's what I'm a bit confused about, I could understand last season, or when we faced City in the past, or when we've gone to Anfield in the past, if you sit back, you be pragmatic, because we haven't had the squad, we haven't had the team, sometimes to beat them at their places. Let's be honest, they've had, usually, particularly in the last, maybe not the last two seasons, but definitely before then, we had to be more cautious. Even in the last two seasons, they were dangerous places to go. But now I feel like we have the team, we have the squad, we have all the elements to do enough. We have enough to beat them, right? And that's what I feel so frustrated about, is that, and to answer your question, why does he do that? I don't know. I don't know if he's just scared of...
I think he's shit his pants again.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's scared of absolutely, like...
He's scared of losing.
Yeah,
this is my thing,
so
right? This is my thing.
Losing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you look at the Liverpool game, and the first mistake he made was, he started Mourinho in the midfield, right? His game plan at Anfield was to ride out a 0-0.
Like a 20 minutes.
Listen. Then bring the game changers on, which was Eze and Ødegaard for that game, because Saka was injured. Then bring on the game changers, and then win 1-0. What happened was, he waited to make the subs too late. Liverpool scored before he could make the changes. Then he brings on the stars.
Well, no, he made the changes too late, and then...
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but then they scored, right? So, like, it wasn't...
Yeah, but he made the changes too late. And then this time, what he's done is he's learned from his mistake in a way by he made the changes at half time and he got the goal. So he got the goal. No, listen. So he got the goal. But that's what I'm saying is his actual approach needs to change.
No.
So
yeah,
his
but
first mistake.
Forget the substitutions. It's the lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So he's not.
He's not learned from his mistake.
So what I'm saying is he's learned from his. This is what I'm saying. The next game, what's so funny is, and you made a good point, as in like the process. Like we are watching a manager who's, let's be honest, this is his first job. And I feel like, obviously, compared to other managers who's been in the game for ages and ages, he's still learning from his mistakes. And I think this season he has just played it too safe. Like he should have started Eze, and it feels like in the next game he probably will start Eze and Cam, and you'll be like, why the hell didn't you just start Eze and Cam against Liverpool? And I think again it's because he's used to players. He's playing players who are used to the system and feels won't make a mistake to concede a goal. Whereas he should be thinking, I've brought these players to make the difference and win me the Premier League title, but he's not thinking like that at the minute. He's too pragmatic, in my opinion. You can't tell me he's starting Mourinho, not because he thinks he's better than Eze. He's not looking at that and going, Mourinho, I think he could really unlock the defence today because Man City have got this weakness here. He's just thought, Mourinho will win more duels and we won't concede a goal.
My issue with Arteta is not just his... I don't think it's just about like defensive solidity, but he also wants like a certain possession-based solidity which Ødegaard brings in terms of like the way he recycles possession, the way he keeps the ball, the way he is... You know, I'm not saying Ødegaard is a cautious player. I don't think he is. He does make forward passes. He is a creative player.
What I'm saying is he's more cautious.
He's more like Saka, right? So let's say like Saka, and if you compare Saka and Madueke, for example, it's almost similar in terms of like Eze and Ødegaard, where, you know what I'm saying there? As in like Saka, he's more efficient, right?
Yeah.
And Ødegaard's very efficient. They don't make... They make the right decisions a lot, but they don't tend to make the decision that you could have done and it could pay off. Whereas Madueke and Eze tend to just do it. They try it. And I think Arteta is very much obsessed with control. And I think that's literally what's costing him. I don't think he wants to give anything away in terms of controlling the games. But what I don't understand is that he's built such an amazing back four and he's not trusting his back four. I don't know why one of Rice and Zubimendi can just can't just sit in front of the back four and let them play. I don't understand why we couldn't just play 2 8s, proper 8s. I'm not talking about one box to box like Rice. I'm not sure why we couldn't have a team in which you'd have Rice sat with our back four and have Eze and Ødegaard playing.
Yeah, you could.
I literally cannot understand. I can't really fathom it. When I've seen teams like PSG in which their midfield's like Vitinha, I know Ruiz has got a bit about him, but like their midfield is often quite like lightweight. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Look at Man City, like Silva, Foden, and then you've obviously got Rodri does that job. I don't understand why we're obsessed. Even Liverpool, right? You had McAllister. It's only really Gravenberch, and he's also flying forward, that does that sitting role. I don't understand why we need to be so
I think the prime
obsessed with
example is
controlling
Liverpool's midfield. It's Gravenberch is the only one
He's
there,
the- he's-
really.
yeah.
And I know McAllister and Wirtz can get back.
They're
and
hard
everything, but
working, yeah. But
It's like, why... Eze, you've seen Eze... What's made me laugh is, you know, for the Haaland's second main chance, I think it was, or... Yeah, I think when Eze got back, he actually made a better recovering challenge than Mourinho would have done because he's got more pace.
But the pace there.
So this is what is annoying. It's like, yes, in terms of physicality, Arteta's been obsessed with physicality for far too long, and it's actually now taking away from our football. Like we've bought these flair players to try and get his goals, and he's actually actively not playing them. Like, how crazy is it to think that he's not started Eze in this game? I actually cannot believe it. Like, I cannot believe it.
I mean,
like,
right.
Mourinho is a player you bring on when we're 1-0 up, like Man City, and then you think, oh, take Eze off and bring Mourinho on to shore it up a bit. You don't start Mourinho.
Going back to...
Ridiculous. I have no idea why.
Moving on from the Mourinho, though, so also with the starting 11, do you have any strong feelings about any other selections? Saliba?
Yeah, I have strong feelings. I think the back line's fine.
I mean, personally, just quickly, though, I maybe rushed bringing back Saliba a bit. I think Mosquera's been quality. And I think he would have handled
what I'm
that
saying
game,
is
but
Arteta's not stupid. Saliba is clearly ready a couple of games ago, and he's put Mosquera in. He's put Mosquera in because he didn't want to risk him, but now I think he's obviously fully fit. And he looks fine, Saliba.
Well, for that first goal, there was... I don't know really what happened.
That first goal was not Saliba's fault.
No, I'm not saying it was Saliba's fault, but it was... It wasn't a very Arsenal-like goal. I thought
it's kind of ironic that he started Zubimendi, Rice, and Mourinho to win duels, and those three tried to get the ball. None of them got it, and then it led to them breaking away and Haaland scoring. I just thought it was quite ironic. Whereas if he has Eze on the pitch, we might have scored earlier, and that doesn't even happen. Long story short, the guy, I don't care what anyone says, like and I think most Arsenal fans can see this. For some reason, he's just playing it safe, and I have no idea why.
Well, I
honestly don't know why.
I don't know if he's been scarred by the last couple of seasons in terms of the fine margins, and he just thinks, I don't know, he thinks we can't give anything away. But the reason we didn't win last season or the season before, I mean, the season before is quite hard to criticise because we were good. We were good enough to win that title. It's just that City were slightly better. But I think with last season, we definitely saw, other than the injuries, we just saw that the football was just like, we didn't go for it, you know, like that's what cost us. I don't understand why, you know, we relied on set pieces and fine margins, and ultimately that's what cost us. So I don't understand why he hasn't changed his philosophy on football at all and thought, actually, what wins you games are goals and creativity. And it felt like, this is what's frustrating, is the transfer window felt to me like it was a moment where he's realised that, and yet these first 5 games, especially these 2 big games, doesn't feel like that it adds up.
That's why it worries me,
Yeah,
as in,
it's
like,
weird.
I'm not sure if these signings, as in Eze, etc., are actually Arteta's decisions. Because I just look at it and I think, the one that pissed me off the most, actually, and I hope is Madueke injured? Is that confirmed?
Well, apparently, yeah, he felt something like a knock.
Because it kind of annoyed me when he came off. I think, to be honest, the main thing is, like, yes, it was a nice goal from Haaland, but you could clearly see once Mourinho came off and Eze came on. I know Saka made a huge difference as well, to be fair, but Eze literally, if it wasn't for Eze, we lose that game. Like, he's actually assisted Martinelli to get that goal. So it's like,
but
it's Eze's created that goal. I'm sorry, Eze makes that run.
Yeah.
Mourinho does not play that ball.
Probably
he
not.
can't play that ball. This is what I'm saying. It's like he doesn't. He's not that kind of player though. He's not that kind of player. So he's just.
For me, it's
what
not
is
just...
his, what is his fetish?
But for me, it's not just the lineup. It's not just the selections, though. I've seen, we've seen Mourinho play for Spain. We've seen... I feel like there's too much criticism on Mourinho and the lineup. I just watched the play, and I just thought we sat back too much, in a way. Like, our press was a little bit off today. I don't know if anyone else thought that. I thought we could have got much higher, been much more aggressive. I think we could have put him on it a bit more. Like, actually got into him a bit more. I know... it's a bit of a Roy Keane thing to say, but I thought we could have snapped into
We didn't look like... Remember when we used to start games, even last season, but a few seasons ago, it was like, wow, we looked like Liverpool. We were really aggressive. So quickly. To be honest, we did start the game pretty well, and I think what happened is that goal did deflate us a bit.
Yeah, but it was... In fairness, Jay, like in that 20 minutes,
so you have to react.
Did we make any chances?
No, we didn't create any chances.
We didn't create anything.
And this is the problem.
So that's fine. Yeah,
so
we can play well for 20 minutes.
Not only is Arteta playing it safe, but when he does try, I don't think he's worked out a way, personally, maybe this is what it is, because Eze's new to the club, and Madueke new, and Gyökeres is new, he had a lot of change, right? I'm not sure he's worked out in his head, or they've had enough time on the training pitch to work out a system which gets the best out of all these players. Now, for me, as a manager, and it seems like this is what Slot does, is... Even if he hasn't worked out a system, he'll chuck them on and let them work it out themselves. Do you understand what I mean?
It's very simple. Play your best players in the best
exactly.
positions.
And
what's
he's overthinking it.
Regardless, Ødegaard right now, even if he was fit, he's been out of form. He has been out of form for basically a season. Who's in form? Who's a good player that we've just signed? Eze, playing in his natural position. I think you have to play Saka when he's fit because he's our best player. And I think you have to play Madueke on the left or if he's fit as well because he's been brilliant. And I think you play Gyökeres through the middle. And like I said, does he not trust his players enough? We've got Subamendi and Rice, who were supposedly, and I think even other fans, rival fans would agree, they're two of the best, out of possession players in the world, and two just great all-round midfielders. Is that not enough? Like,
Arteta has put too much...
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Arteta has put too much emphasis on a system and not players' talent.
Yeah, sometimes.
He's actually too focused on playing a system and getting this system ticking, and focused too much on... And look, he's a fantastic manager tactically. That's what every player says, one of the best managers he's ever worked for. But he's actually not letting players express themselves. We've become quite robotic. And Manchester City were great when they first came about and they were robotic and they did that thing where it constantly cutbacks inside would result in a goal and the possession and everything. But I think football's changed. And I think you need to let the players on the pitch express themselves a bit more. You've seen that when Jack Grealish was at City and now he's at Everton and he's expressing himself. And my fear is that these players like Eze and Madueke, they're going to get the creativity and the flair drilled out of them.
I mean, to be fair, Madueke's had a lot of license to just do what he wants to do, and he's been great. So in fairness, you can't really criticise Arteta on that.
I think also we have to give credit to Man City as well, because even though we didn't play very well, part of it was I don't think they let us play very well in a way. I think, like, obviously it's funny how the tables have turned, because that Pep's tactics today were the exact same tactics that Arteta would have used going to the Etihad, and they sort of, and now Man City, Pep's a good manager though, really, in a way, because he's obviously self-aware. He knows that City aren't as good as Arsenal anymore, which is kind of crazy. And he's gone there basically saying, like, I'm going to try and win this through a snatch and grab because we can't actually play Arsenal. We can't actually play better football than Arsenal. And fans are going to laugh because you're like, oh, we still got a draw. But obviously we did dominate the midfield. Like, we dominated the game.
Well, I mean, I was just going to say, it kind of proves that the football's slightly flawed. I mean, they did everything right and yet still only got a draw. So it kind of shows that...
That goal was class, though, to be fair. Like, that goal, it was really...
the Martinelli goal?
No, Haaland goal.
Yeah,
Both goals were class.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that ultimately, if I was a City fan right now, I'd be pretty mad about the way that that's turned out. I think they could have probably...
Of course, but
they should have seen that.
You have to be self-aware. Right, so again, obviously, what's funny is you'd criticise if Arteta went to the Etihad and were winning 1-0, and then he parks the bus after 80 minutes.
I would use the exact same criticism. No, that's what I just said, though.
Yeah, I know you did. I know, I agree.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just think there's clearly something about that football. That is flawed. You can't... Ultimately, when you rely on the fine margin of one goal, then...
It's quite funny
happen.
actually. It just shows how similar Pep and Arteta are because they are extremely pragmatic. And obviously Pep can't compare him to Arteta because he's a serial winner and one of the most successful managers of all time. But like they are they are very similar in the way that they like set up and have set up in the past.
Yeah.
And, like the decision making there from Pep.
Well,
is,
to be fair, yeah,
he's a bit of a bottle job really because
Well,
he shouldn't have. I mean, by the way,
it's the way
that's the
I
first
think.
time.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's the first time. That's the lowest possession Man City have ever had in a Premier League game. They played. That's the first time I've ever seen City park the bus and play 5 at the back. I'm not even joking. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't really understand why he brought Haaland off, but anyway, yeah, we're not a
But
City
that just shows
podcast,
like how.
But...
Yeah, I know we're not. Yeah, but we're
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
No, my point was that I'm just saying that we're not. I was just going to talk about why Pep Guardiola took off Haaland, but that's all I said. We're not a City podcast because I was like going to go into it, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, with the first goal, obviously it was just a bit of a. I don't know. It was a bit of a mess, but it was just one of them. I think with Haaland, he's always going to have a chance, but I thought that the way we reacted as well was not great.
To be honest, we wouldn't have scored in that first half. We only actually looked good at football when Eze and Saka came on, and that's just a fact. So he needs to fucking realise that this isn't going to work. And if I see a Marino, Zubimendi, Rice midfield again, unless it's a cup game, I'm going to absolutely flip my lid. Because it's just not working.
I put it this way, though. I could see... what I'm trying to say as well, though, is I could see a world in which he plays the players that we want him to play, i.e. Eze started that game, and for some reason it would have been very similar. Because of the way we're playing.
What I'm saying is,
do you get what I'm saying? Would have been,
yeah,
it's not just
right,
the selection.
But all I'm saying is, I understand it's not just the selection, but you can't tell me that a player like Eze is not going to have more impact creatively than Marino.
Yeah.
So even if we do play that, like let's be honest, the football this season and in last season is dross, and it has been dross. But even if we play dross for a full season with those players on the pitch, they're going to do something because they are just that good. It's like, this is why City, they're playing dross football at the minute. The system's crap. But because they've got Haaland and etc., they will just like score goals and be good. So at the end of the day, like it's like Liverpool. Like clearly they're not playing their best football. But credit to Arne Slot, he's not like being pragmatic on, I won't play all Verts and I'll let him bed in and stuff and I'll take him off and like Eze, he's just gone fuck it. Even if like it's not working out, I'm not going to play it safe. I'm chucking them all on. And yes, we might concede goals, like they conceded 2 in the first opening game at Anfield, but we'll outscore. We've got enough talent, and Arteta hasn't got that belief.
Yeah, I mean, I know,
and that's not his way. But he might need to change his way because I don't think we're going to league. We're not. Pundits have said this, and I agree. We're not going to win a league playing this style of football.
No.
We're just not. Like, I know Chelsea did it with that amazing defence, but they only got they only get 80 odd points. Like, we're not going to win the league with 80 odd points. We need to get like nearly 90 points. I just think the football's too defensive and it's too safe. It needs to change, and it's all down to Arteta. We've got the players now, so there's no excuses. He has to win a trophy this year with the players that we've got. We've got the best squad in the league. That's a fact. A Liverpool fan might argue with you on that, but if you look at it from an objective standpoint, we actually have.
Their defence is,
so we actually,
one Van Dijk injury away from crisis.
So we actually have got the best squad in the league. So
yeah, I don't know.
And that's all I've got to say on it, really, unless you have anything else
to say. To be honest, it was a very nothing, not really much happened. When I'm trying to think about events in the game, I mean, what really happened? The second goal, fair play to Martinelli.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing you sort of need to touch on is Martinelli's sort of resurgence. But obviously, the thing is, like, it's obvious what's happened. Martinelli is a certain type of player, and he's a player, and we've said this consistently, who will make really good runs, and he'll get on the end of things, and he'll chase down a ball, and he plays off space. And at the end of the day, like, that's what we've seen, and it's what he's been good at throughout all his goals. If you see in his entire career, it's always getting on the end of things.
When you think of Martinelli goals,
it's taking someone on. He's got loads of space, or he's got on the end of something.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it was absolutely pure class, and it's a good job that he's not sat sulking on the bench thinking, "Oh, why me?"
Yeah.
Like, it's a good job he's come on and thought, "Fuck it, I'm going to make a difference."
Yeah, it's a great attitude.
It's not the first time he's done it.
No, it's true. Yeah, fair play to Martinelli there.
And he saved Arteta. To be honest, he saved Arteta because I tell you what, Arsenal fans are going to have a meltdown after this, even though we haven't lost the league or anything, but it's the same patterns as last season, second again. And honestly, if we would have lost that game...
my thing is, like, people will say, well, you could argue you're being reactionary if you say that this is a part of, like, bottling the league again. But I don't see how it isn't. Like, you have to understand, people say it's 38 games. Well, yeah, but they're all equally... It doesn't matter if it was the first 5 games either. You have to imagine every part of these 38 games is like... I know it doesn't work like this, but you have to imagine it. If I was a winner, like Roy Keane, for example, that every game, right, has to be... You have to fucking treat it like it's the last 5 games. And the start, like Liverpool away and City at home. Would we have played like that if we were in the last 5 games?
We've played two.
Do you get what I'm saying?
We've played 2 good teams this season. Forest was shit. They had a new manager. Man United are shit, and Leeds are shit.
Well, Leeds
they're shit. They're shit. We played them, but also they were a newly promoted team.
Yeah,
so they were shit, and they were shit on that day.
Yeah,
but they were shit. What I'm saying is United, Leeds, and Forest were shit on that day we played them. The only 2 good teams we've played it super safe with the lineup and super safe in the way we play football. So Arteta's scared to lose against City and Liverpool. Instead of thinking, this is our year, we're going to go there and we're going to win. And how many times have we fucking said this? And I know he's been good in the big games and everything, but it's like... I'm just like...
What's annoying for me is...
It's just a simple
thing. It wouldn't have taken much... Like a draw at Anfield, and if this was slightly more, if we went for it today and we got a win today,
but we didn't,
then it would look slightly different. And now my worry is, if you let me finish.
No, I'm not going to let you finish.
Liverpool already 5 points ahead. That's a lot.
This is what I'm saying. It's not about the results. It's about the way we've played football.
It's about the results.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, it's mainly about the way we played football. Because if we drew to City today, but we did everything, and Donnarumma made some world-class saves, you'd just be like, you know what, it's the way it is. Like, we played our best, we played free-flowing attacking football, and you know what I mean? You would be a bit more... It is the way we fucking play football.
It's both.
And at Anfield, man, that fucking pissed me off. Like, we bottled that as well, we didn't even go for it.
It is both. The results are worrying, and the football is worrying. I don't know how anyone could say that isn't the case.
The results aren't that worrying.
They are quite worrying.
We drew against City and we lost to a free kick that's out of nowhere. What's worrying for me more than that is Arteta's head.
No.
His Lego
Hold
head.
on.
His Lego
Liverpool are 5 points clear and they played crap.
Yeah, but...
Explain that.
We've seen throughout history... Because I'll explain that. Because they're not bottle jobs. They go into every single game trying to win the game.
So this is what's worrying, though.
They concede more than us. They score more than us.
Yeah, but the point is that
simple.
It's the football. If we won all these games, I wouldn't care because I was like, well, it would click eventually, right? But we've got the points, and it's fine. The problem is we've got our rivals 3 points, and we've now drew to what I think is a pretty poor City side compared to what they've been. And now we're 5 points adrift already.
Put it this way. I'd rather, if we continue to play this robotic style of safe football, I'd rather finish 4th than keep finishing 2nd. It's pissing me off. I'd rather go back to the way Wenger played free-flowing attacking football and watch my team express themselves and get these beautiful goals and play really enjoyable football than finish 2nd every single year because Arteta is scared to take the fucking handbrake off. It's like, it is just doing my head in.
My worry is, like, I've got 2 concerns. One, will he ever? And 2, can we afford to fucking waste that time while he sorts this shit out? Because I'm sorry, but like, any fucking manager would have been able to see that, right, I'm probably going to play, I'd probably play Eze where he actually, plays Cam, because we just spent 60 million on him. And I probably would have gone at City. I mean, why did every fan before this game, I thought this, did you think this? Thought we can just go for City today, let's have it. And at Liverpool, did you think the same thing?
Yeah, obviously, because
so
we've got the players to do it.
Does this manager just think, nah?
Because that, I'm absolutely...
Do you know what I mean, though?
I'm absolutely baffled by the decision in both of these games to start Mikel Merino in the midfield alongside Rice Zubimendi. I know I'm actually... baffled
It's
by
the
it.
football.
I'm baffled by it.
Yeah, I
but it's
know,
not.
but
It's aside from the football.
No, the football is
but
the
aside
problem.
from the football, I'm baffled by it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I don't think anyone does. If there's anyone in the comments can understand,
If anyone
getting
can,
Arteta's
anyone
head.
give me one fucking good reason why it's a good idea to start Mourinho as a cam.
Well,
As
it's
a-
not
as
a
a
cam,
se-
it's like
he's
two
a cam.
eights though, isn't it?
But
He
what's
didn't
he
start him as a
doing? Why
cam.
are you playing a line across the midfield?
I think we should just go back to a 4-2-1-3-1. No, what am I talking about? A 4-2-3-1, yeah.
I think, honestly, we should just go full on fucking Liverpool and just fucking chuck them all on. Eze, Ødegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, Madueke. Fucking chuck
No,
Martinelli
but
on as
seriously, I don't
well.
understand why we're not good enough to play with one holding midfielder.
I have no idea.
There's so many
Like,
teams
there is
that
a
have been
world
brilliant
in
that
which,
have
that's what I
played
mean, there
like
is a
that.
world in which some coaches, maybe Arne Slot, would literally only play Zubimendi or Rice in that midfield on their own, and then have two more attack-minded
Because this is the thing.
midfielders
This is the
in
other
front of it.
conversation.
I don't know.
This is the other conversation. I don't want to criticise him because he's a brilliant player and he's been great for Arsenal, But Rice right now is not bringing enough to the table. What is he offering in that midfield right now?
What? So
Answer that,
Arteta, yeah, I agree. Arteta's tried to make Rice this 6 that scores
No, he's an
goals.
8. He's
Yeah,
like
this
a-
8. Sorry, this 8. But to be fair to him, he got 10 goals and 9 assists last season,
Yeah.
which was brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant output.
I
But
agree.
I agree, he's not been good enough this season, and I think it's partly because he's still getting used to playing with Zubimendi.
I agree.
And he's not been the player that we thought he was going to be in terms of breaking the lines. He just isn't. He just hasn't been so far. He
So
could
far.
be that player,
Yeah,
but he
I think
hasn't
he will
been.
be. I
He's
still
not
think
breaking
he will
any
be.
lines. He's
Yeah.
passing it sideways, and so is Rice.
But no, but this is the thing. I think this is instruction.
Yeah, must
How
be.
many times
Must be,
we've all
yeah.
seen? Go watch the fucking Zubimendi clips.
Spanish team, yeah.
Go
I know,
watch
I
them
know.
because he plays these like he's both. He's fucking. I saw him play. What I can't remember the team they played. Was it Germany? I don't remember. But I saw Zubimendi just getting through. He was making runs into the box. He scored. I think he scored 2 goals in the game that I'm thinking of. He can score like goals. He can be more creative. He's got the range to do it. I mean, we saw
Do you
him
not
score
think
that fucking
partly is-
volley. I think once again, I'm sorry, but it comes from Arteta. Why is Raya having so many touches?
But on this as well,
It's so weird.
on this as well, it's like, Marino and Zubimendi for Spain. You watch them and they're unbelievable,
Yeah,
and they play with flair and.
they express themselves.
And this is what I mean. But to be fair, Marino against Forest and other
Had good
had a
moments.
good game
Yeah.
because he had space. And this is what I'm saying. Do you think perhaps we are being slightly overreacting and slightly critical? Because I think because we are now, in my opinion, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Liverpool are the better," because we are the best team in the league. I think teams now, even Liverpool, everyone sets up against us to just like try and do a snatch and grab. They just fucking do.
No,
so there's no
I don't
space
think
for
it's
any of
just
our
that.
players.
No, I personally don't think it is just that. One of my main things right now is that we haven't been very good in terms of like one of the main ways we're playing, and we watched us do it at Anfield and watched us do it there. Was we start as you mentioned, he's changed the way we build up in possession, so the way we start. And Raya, we've had a lot of reliance on Raya and a lot of reliance on our 2 centre backs, and so far it's not been quick enough. It's not been good enough. Like Zubimendi is still bedding in, so I think it's partly that, and so is Rice. With that relationship still forming, I think right now, like the way we've been building up in possession has been so laborious.
It reminds me a bit of. I think he's trying to.
so
You know what? I
boring.
think he's trying to do a bit like what PSG do, but they've got 3 really mobile midfielders, and he's doing it with like 1 mobile midfielder and 2 sort of clunky ones. I don't get it because PSG do that thing where they build out from the back and they draw teams in and they play around them. But
Brighton do it too.
We don't actually have the. I don't think we have the players to do that.
I think we do.
It's not working. Whatever he's doing.
I just don't think it's working,
sick of
and it
fucking
leads us
talking
on
about
to
it.
be honest, Gyökeres, because I don't think he's getting the best out of Gyökeres either. Personally,
No.
No.
But also, at the end of the day, like, there's obviously levels, and obviously you look at Haaland in today's game, and he didn't get really much service either. But what he did with the balls that he has received, and it's different though because let's be honest, Gyökeres and Haaland are quite similar. They both thrive in space, and in this game, obviously Haaland had a lot more space, And this is what I mean.
He
It's
did. Like, I was literally just about to say, do you think Gyökeres would have finished that Haaland chance?
Yeah, probably.
Yes, I don't. I do think that Haaland played an instrumental part in the build-up and he was good. And maybe Gyökeres doesn't have that, like...
We've seen
Give and go,
Gyökeres
but he can
score an
do that.
amazing
He
goal
can do
against
that.
City, that exact same goal against Manchester City up front in the Champions League. So he does run onto things and finish them. It's nothing to do with Gyökeres. He will score goals. Arteta needs to figure this shit out and quick. I don't know who we play next, but yeah, it's quite alarming. Basically, what's alarming for me, like you said, Josh, is the points thing, because Liverpool are already 5 points clear.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want another... If the title race is done by Christmas again, I think Arsenal fans are going to probably start questioning Arteta.
Yeah.
Because we can't put our legs in the Champions League basket again. We can't, so... yeah. Anyway...
I don't think we're good... I mean...
Do you want to talk about quickly Chelsea United, or...?
Yeah, I'll talk about United Chelsea. I mean, that was just funny, that game. Oh my God.
Admittedly, I didn't watch the games.
I mean, we could talk about Chelsea quickly. They've had a hard week because I watched both of their games. Well, I watched the last half an hour of the game against Bayern, and then I watched the United game. In the Bayern game, I think they were actually pretty good. I just think they had a few moments where they just got done, and I think they were slightly unlucky and also slightly a bit inexperienced. I don't know.
I think that's what they lack a bit, Chelsea. I think they lack that game state, that experience, that sort of dark art, slowing the game down. Sort of, they do look a bit erratic at times. They've not got a lot of control.
No.
So yeah, I mean, again, United, I think for me that's just a clear lack of experience.
I think with United as well, though. Obviously, I've said this. I don't know if I said this on the podcast. Robert Sanchez is a terrible goalkeeper.
Yeah, you have many times.
He is bad. I've seen him with my own eyes. He's not good enough to beat Chelsea. Chelsea's really interesting because I was thinking about this, and I know it's been said. I believe that what's happening right now at Chelsea is that, and I know it's already been said, but that club is currently ran as business first, football club second. And I'm saying this because I looked at their transfer policy, right? And the signings they made. Chelsea spent a lot of money, and I know that with their net spending is lower than ours because they sell players well. But they always sign attackers, and they've not really signed that many defenders. And I'm convinced it's because if you look at the average in terms of, obviously your top 20 players in the world, the majority of them will be attackers. Attackers sell more, they generally cost more, right? And it's all business for me. And I think what's happening is you've been left with essentially it has to be a terrible transfer window for Chelsea because you've got Robert Sanchez in goal and their defensive options right now. I mean, Chalobah was obviously scored a goal for United, but he was playing at Crystal Palace last season. Is he good enough I don't think he's a bad player, but is he good enough to, be their starting centre-back? The other centre-backs, they chopped and changed so much, I don't even know them.
Whoever their sporting director is, and whether this comes from Todd Bowley, hire the sporting director, but obviously I think it is a sporting director making the signings, ultimately. I think they probably need to change it because it actually reminds me of PSG. When PSG bought Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, and they tried to win.
Yeah, it's not even that.
They tried to win, but it's not that. But they tried. What I'm saying is they're not that level. That's not that level. But they're trying to go top heavy and invest in loads of attacking potential. I agree. They probably need to invest more in the defense.
I mean, that Garnacho signing for me is bizarre.
I don't know why they've not signed Donnarumma. I don't know why they were not in for him. Doesn't make any sense.
Because he's probably just not a viable asset. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to just make money in any way they can. I just don't. I'm trying because I'm trying to wrap my head around why they keep buying, why they bought Delap and Pedro,
why they bought Garnacho. Because he's young and they can sell him on for a profit.
They will sell him
on.
Yeah,
I agree.
It is
strange.
Purely what's going on at Chelsea.
But then again, if you look at it, centre backs have sold for Saliba would sell for what 90, 80 million.
Yeah, but the equivalent of his player, would sell for 180 million.
True.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do agree. There is a bit of a business model going on there at Chelsea. Clearly, it's like stocks. It's like trading the market.
That's what I'm seeing at Chelsea.
It's like buying low and selling high.
Because Gittins, right? This guy. So he didn't start. I don't think he started either of the games. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea fans. But you've just bought him, and then you got rid of Madueke. But they'll purely look at that being like, well, we made a profit on Madueke. and then we've got this Gittins in. He'll just fill.
What's funny is
he'll just fill it for now. Do you know what I mean?
Clearly, Maresca didn't want Madueke. It's a good example, Madueke. Maresca didn't want him to leave, really, right?
I don't see why I would have. Yeah,
no, he didn't. He said that. He said, well, Madueke is a good player. And Madueke probably wasn't that bothered or didn't hand in a transfer request. I think all it was Arsenal thought, there's a good player. We'll go to his agent and see if he could want to play. And he said, I'd be open, but does Chelsea want to sell me? As soon as Chelsea heard that Arsenal were interested, they've looked at the books and gone, we bought him for hardly anything. Arsenal are going to offer 50 million. Yes, you're going because we've made a profit. Honestly, I agree. I think it's like fucking like
I think it'd be a really weird.
It was a business. I
don't get what's going on at Chelsea. To be honest.
I don't. I think the Madueke thing is obviously clearly more of a business decision than it was a pitch decision.
Yeah,
he would have been he's a great player, squad player even if he didn't start for them. I understand if they would have replaced him in terms of a starter and brought a really good player like Rodrigo or something, but to sell him, I thought was strange. And then bring him to
Did they upgrade it? No, they didn't. There's no upgrade there.
They've not put that 50 million to go out and get a Rodrigo or something. Which I thought, I was kind of fearful they were going to go out and get someone big like Eze or something, but they've not. They've just
I mean, obviously, it's not. I still think Chelsea, once again, because they've got so much attacking talent, will be fine this season. I think they will probably get top 4. And also, I just think everyone else looks a bit crap. You know, Newcastle drew again today. They've not been great. Aston Villa
look really bad.
Loaded. They've scored the first goal in the Premier League, and then drew to Sunderland today, which is insane. Watkins looks like he's fell off a cliff. Who else you got? United obviously will be United, and God knows where they'll be. You know, there's a good chance. I know that obviously I criticise Spurs a lot, but it looks like they've got a pretty good chance. Maybe.
I think Chelsea, like you say, I really think this is what I said about Spurs. I think a lot of it's down to like who the manager is as well. Yeah. Clearly, and I just think Thomas Frank's such a good manager. But I think Chelsea fans have sort of been humbled a bit this week. Yeah. After the whole Club World Cup thing, and a lot of pundits saying Chelsea are going to transfer the league this year. I think they've sort of ate a bit of humble pie, and I think they probably need to. I think they probably realise like, oh, we are a bit off it. We're a few years off. Yeah. You know, being a top club again, not a top club, sorry, like a club challenging for a league title. Yeah. I can't say much as an Arsenal fan because we'll probably finish second again, but
I just think it's weird. I don't really get what's going on in Chelsea. I think if I was a Chelsea fan right now, I'd be slightly concerned by what I'm seeing.
I wouldn't be concerned. I think I'd be more like sort of disappointed, or because you know you had super high expectations for the league and you've just lost to Man United and got a red card, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, like we're clearly not where we thought we were.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird one, but I think they'll be fine. I think they could definitely. I think they probably will still get top 4.
Just on Arsenal again, I just wish we could. Those days hit like crack when we had all those young players and we played that dynamic football with Jesus up top, and Martinelli was, we were direct and fluid, and I just miss those days, man. I just think with the players that we have now with Madueke and Eze and Saka, we could recreate that. I know Gyökeres is a bit stiff, but I still think we could recreate that fluid football that we play, and I feel like we've just gone so far into. We've progressed as a club in terms of results, but I think we've gone so far away from the identity of Arsenal. In terms of the way we should play football, and it's just upsetting, really.
I just don't. I don't like it. I don't see why Arteta can't go back to those days of like see how good we were in that 21-22 season, what made us good in that season, and then try and emulate something like that. I think the huge miss when I think about that season, who do you think of? I think about Gabriel Jesus, to be honest, and obviously Xhaka as well, but mainly Jesus. He was just so fluid and such a good player.
And I don't know why Arteta was so The only reason we lost the league last season is because Rob Holding was out. It's like, why are you not still playing that style of football? Because it got us 50. That's the most points it's ever that's the best we've ever looked, and he's never played that style of football again. And I understand because he probably hasn't got the personnel anymore, but he sort of has now. In a way, with Eze and Madueke, because they're very good, and they still got Martinelli. Saka's still there. The only person we've lost is Jesus. I know he made a massive difference.
Is it because what you said though that other teams give us more respect. They
Yeah.
and they deliberately play to stop that.
Yeah, well, they do.
I think it's a mix.
Yeah,
But
it's a mix.
ultimately, the best teams just beat. It's just an excuse because the best teams beat them, don't they? Though
Liverpool do tend to find a way, though. They quite.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
rate Liverpool. No, because they're quite clever, and Liverpool are quite clever in the way they play football. Because I have no shadow of a doubt that Liverpool could dominate games the way we dominate games. But I
Yeah.
think they actually actively, tactically choose not to. In some points, and there's a reason why they are quite open, because it obviously creates space and opportunities for their best players to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
I know what
how
you mean, potentially.
but there's obviously a way in which they play which creates that space, because, and I think that's because they're so gung ho, and so they sort of make the game end to end because that suits them. Whereas we don't. We make the game. We just control every single game. We seem to want to control everything. Arteta wants to control every single element and control things he can't control. Whereas Liverpool seem to just take an approach of, we're going to, we don't care if we can't control everything.
Yeah.
We'll just
I think,
go for it.
I don't know, looking at it, my concern is that what it seems like to me, from what I've seen in these first 5 games, is that we are in a period of like evolution again. And like the team is gelling and he's working it out, but I just don't think that we have the time to do that. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think we're going to get the points that we need.
It's
while
fucking
this is
bollocks,
happening.
though, because Liverpool have got all new players. I mean,
No, it's not. I mean, the spine of their team is very much the same.
bollocks. So is ours.
Is it? We've got Zubimendi who completely changes.
They've
Do you know
got a
what I'm
new
saying,
striker, right? They've got a new midfielder in Wirtz. The only thing that hasn't changed is Van Dijk and Alisson, and that hasn't changed for
McAllister
us.
and Gravenberch.
We've got Ødegaard. It's no excuse. I'm sorry.
Well, Ødegaard's not even
There's
playing,
no
really,
fucking
but-
excuse for us for this football. There's no excuse. It's terrorist ball.
No, but they
It
haven't
has to
changed
stop.
the way they
It has
played. We've
to
got
stop.
Gyökeres though. We've got Gyökeres in, so we've having to change. We've had Zubimendi now. We are changing the way we're playing, aren't we?
Well, we should have brought
Clearly.
Isak then.
Anyway, I mean, that's what I've got to say on that
ultimately, if we don't change the way, if Arsenal don't change the way they play football, Liverpool are going to run away with this league, and it's going to be another
Yeah.
boring season. But I tell you what, isn't it a bit boring? The relegation race and the battle for top four
Yeah.
is going to be really spicy. So at least that's something.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
And yeah, just on Man City again, I don't think they're title contenders from what I've seen from them today. I mean, Pep shot his pants.
I think if they had won this game, there'd be more of an argument to say,
No.
well, they might.
They played
even so,
terrible football.
They didn't play that
Really
well,
bad
and I
football.
think the fact that they gave that away, pretty much at the
Yeah,
end.
it's bad. It was
poor.
bad. It was
So if
poor.
I'd be a City fan today, I'd be pretty annoyed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be very hopeful as a City fan after today. No, not really.
I don't know. I think
If they didn't have Haaland, City would be so fucking shit. Honestly, they'd be so bad. Like, imagine them with a banger. Imagine them with fucking
I thought you were going to say Gyökeres.
Gyökeres up front. They'd be so shit.
I think Gyökeres would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Should we do faces to the thumbnail? Thumbnail now.
What's Roy Jennings go, you guys?
Just go. Anyone
Yeah.
listening to this and not seeing this is going to be like,
Right,
what
should we
the
just
fuck
do
are they
some...
doing?
I'm trying to think if I have thought of any questions, or we'd have any questions.
No one really asked questions, so
We had some questions.
what then?
We had that... Do you remember that question about that bloke who was like, if a footballer had lived the lifestyle of Maradona...
That is such a
would he-
crap question. That's such a bad question.
It was hilarious.
All right, I've got a question for you. If Gyökeres played for Man City, do you think he would score the same amount of goals as Haaland?
No, but I still think he'd score quite a lot of goals, just probably not as much as Haaland.
What difference? Do you
I just think Haaland's a bit better. That's all.
Another question. If Haaland was in this Arsenal team, do you think he'd score more goals?
I think
than Gyökeres?
he'd look very similar to how Gyökeres does right now.
Really, you think? So you don't think he would?
100%.
You don't think he would? Sort of. Do you think he's quite similar then? Do you think
I
he
mean,
would?
we've
there wouldn't
seen
much of a difference?
we've all seen Haaland have quiet games in which
Like, do
when
you think
City
Haaland,
don't
so
play
obviously
that well
Haaland
and don't
made-
feed him,
Haaland
he doesn't
made-
do anything.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Haaland made the difference today for City. Let's be honest, he did. And I know obviously that goal wasn't just down to Haaland.
But you're making out Haaland did a fucking Thierry Henry like run, drove through.
Well, he did a bit.
What? He did it. The ball broke through. Reinders drove and set him up for one of the simplest finishes It was a pretty simple,
Yeah,
forward finish.
All right, I just wanted to make things interesting, but it's fine. Okay, so
put it this way: if maybe Isak would look different to how Gyökeres, I think there is probably more of a debate there. I think Isak would add a different dimension to what Gyökeres can do to this team. That is a fact. Or someone even like Gabriel Jesus would probably add more. We're forgetting Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz in that game probably would have offered us slightly more out of
possession,
or even hold-up play. I think his hold-up play is a bit better than Gyökeres.
Do you think Gyökeres isn't doing enough then in this team? You think? Do you think we chose the wrong striker?
No,
because a lot of people. I actually heard that after the game that people are saying we've actually chose the wrong striker here.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree. I think that he could be a really good striker if we put him in if we use him in the right way. I think what he's going to do, if you feed him, I don't understand. I've not seen anything that suggests that he won't score the goals.
Do you admit, though, that the best Arsenal have ever looked from an attacking-wise is when we had a more fluid, mobile striker like Gabriel Jesus? And I'm not saying Gabriel Jesus would be good in this team now, but I'm saying if we went for a striker like Julian Alvarez
or an
Isak or João Pedro, someone a bit more mobile, a bit more athletic.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
Do you think maybe we've made the wrong decision in that respect? And in terms of we've just gone for this, we've gone for this Gyökeres because he's been in the headlines and he wanted to come. That's great, but at the same time,
he scored 40 goals for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, but João Pedro looks more like a young Gabriel Jesus when he was first coming through. Do you not think he would have suited our system a bit better than Gyökeres?
Well, no one called for Pedro, so it's revisionism, isn't it? But I always liked Pedro. I didn't understand why we weren't in for him, or because his profile is the most similar to Jesus, and that's the best we've ever played with Jesus. I agree, but that's just because one thing is true, i.e., we played well with Jesus, doesn't mean that we couldn't change the way we play to play well with Gyökeres. I think the issue is we're not playing to Gyökeres' strengths enough. My worry is, and it's a worry, it's kind of like, has Gyökeres got the Martinelli problem? Do you know what the Martinelli problem, do you know what I'm on about?
No.
Where, like you said, he needs to play in a system in which he gets space, he runs on things, people feed him first time or over to the through balls, over the top. Will he get that enough, Gyökeres? My instinct is, I would like to think that we can do that, and we have done it a bit. Calafiori's been doing it, but will we do it more or enough for him? I don't know.
Here's another question. Where do you think the difference lies? Because let's be honest, Liverpool fell off a bit a few seasons ago, and it was us and Man City competing for the title. Now Man City have fell off, and Liverpool are back, and it looks like now Liverpool are ahead of us just slightly in terms of the way they play football and getting points on the board. Where do you think the difference lies? Where do you think this Arsenal team is going wrong compared to a Liverpool team at the minute that are getting it right?
I think they've got Mo Salah, to be honest. And I think no matter what you think of Saka, I think Salah is just probably a Premier League great, to be honest. So I think that is a huge thing. I don't think you can ignore the fact that they've got Salah, who will, usually give you at least 25 goals. That's one thing. I think
Van Dijk's underrated as well in terms of Gabriel and Saliba.
Van Dijk's rated, but I think I think
in terms of the actual impact that he has on this team.
Yeah, I think
creatively as well. Those long balls, to
also, he's just an absolute. He's a beast. Also, his mentality is a beast. They've got experience. I think that I know it's like a very Roy Keane thing to say, but that's also true. But I think more than anything else, they just play. They're just more dynamic and more fluid, aren't they? They're just. Surely,
I have to say though,
I
have to say though, when Saka came on today with that captain's armband, he did look like a player that,
It's not a criticism of Saka. It's not.
Yeah, I think he's a great in terms of. I think he's a great captain. I'm not saying he's. Yeah.
Have we got a player on the level of Salah though?
well, no, I don't think anyone. I think Haaland's the only player that's on the level of Salah.
And that's the thing.
And Isak, and
Saka, I'd like to think that Saka can do it. I think what stopped him last season was that injury, and it was a shame that that happened because he could have broke the assist record last season potentially. He was on 10 assists by Christmas, but.
I tell you what though, Eze, 2 starts, 2 assists. I think.
Yeah.
So I mean,
regardless of the fact that he's not
even starts.
Yeah.
He came off the bench. So Look, this is what I mean. Ultimately, we'll end
Play
the
your
podcast
best
with this.
players,
Play
for
your best
fuck's
players.
sake.
Play your best
I
players.
just-
It's what
yeah.
Liverpool do. It's what City do. Just play your best players, and
I
we
agree.
don't. We just don't.
Yeah.
Why? Who knows? Why? Someone answer me this. Why does Arteta not play his best players, his best starting 11? Why is he playing Marino in midfield? Why is Dan Weary not even playing instead of Marino
Yeah,
in midfield?
Munir, also, he's been so good.
What
He's been good.
is going on? Please. And with that, that's
Is
the
that
end.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to finally just end with the Arteta kind of. Some people are really like so averse to criticising Arteta. It's just an interesting.
There won't be a verse
conversation.
now, though, I'm telling you now. I think anyone even now who's a hardcore Arteta fan, and even I am, to be fair, but like anyone who's beyond my level of devotion to Arteta and worships him and actually like has a poster and stuff.
Yeah, gets a bit sexual about him.
Yeah, I think they sort of question their sexuality now and start being like,
they
am I
Arteta-sexuals?
heterosexual? Probably not. I'm starting to sort of go back to being
We can all be tetasexuals when it
Wenger
was.
sexual.
Yeah, when it was.
Because
fluid.
honestly, like, it's not looking good for Arteta. I think he even like it panned to him a couple of times on the touchline, and he was like doing this. He was like, sort of like, oh,
the Unai Emery.
I've fucked up. I fucked up here.
I just.
And how much he celebrated the goal, I think he was like, that was almost relief.
Got me out of jail card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And
think...
it pissed. Sorry to interrupt. It pissed me off. This is what I mean about our mentality. I understand we've scored an equaliser and it's late in the game, but for me, like if I was on that pitch as a fan, and I don't get it. I know obviously it's a lot. The adrenaline kicks in when you're a player, so you score and you go, "Oh, we've scored, let's celebrate." But for me, the first thing that comes into my head is we need to fucking win this game if we're going to win a trophy this year. Like if we're going to win the league, and they're all rushing.
I
and
can't lie though,
celebrating.
it's the
I'm
way
like,
he
get
scored
back,
it. I
get
think
back,
it was
get
the goal.
back.
Because
I
it's
know,
like
but-
he dinks it over and he's still running and he just does a knee slide.
No, I'm
and it
happy
was
with
like a
Martinez
moment.
doing knee slide, but I think everyone else should go, come on. And then once he's done the knee slide, I think Rice or Saka should be going, let's go.
Yeah,
Someone should have grabbed the
yeah.
ball out of the net. No one did. Someone should have grabbed the ball out of the net. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
no, I agree.
And going, let's go. I reckon Erdegaard might have done. I don't know. Someone needs to grab that ball and
Odegaard
go,
wasn't
let's
on the
fucking
pitch.
go.
Oh, sorry, I get what you're saying.
The captain needs to be doing that.
Yeah.
So someone needs to get that. And our heads went a bit, and even our head. So that's what I mean. I still think our mentality is short, and I think that's the other thing on Liverpool. What separates us and Liverpool? It's mentality. Because I think honestly, if Liverpool score that goal, I'm not sure if it's a Van Dijk or someone, because you see that a lot from him grabbing the ball at the back of the net and going, we've still got time to score another one.
Yeah.
And it's just we clearly didn't think we could.
My point is that you can criticise Arteta again without one, calling him to be sacked, and two, without kind of undermining or, taking away from anything that he's done before. I still rate Arteta really highly. I still think he's done an amazing job for the club. But there comes a point in which you have to understand that there is a possibility in which he is not the man till he is to a title. I wouldn't like that to be the
I
possibility.
don't think anyone would.
But
you've got to face that as a reality.
Sometimes you have to face that as reality and think, if we did do what Liverpool did and bring in a slot or bring in someone, what would happen if we got a world-class manager?
I know it's harsh on Arteta because he's built it, but I also think there's a place, and this just applies to life in general, where someone can be a builder of things and do great things, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't work out to finish it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you need someone great to step in, and it doesn't even need to be as great as Arteta, but just a fresh face to just inject that little extra bit of something and take an approach. Because the thing is, Arteta's been in it. He's been in it since the start. If someone comes into this fresh and looks at it at an objective point of view, looks at that team, how we play, and just comes in and goes, oh.
Almost like how Arteta did.
And almost like how Slot did. And he comes in and goes, oh, all right, I'm going to change this and tweak this. And actually, and then next minute, you won the league. Bang, you won a league.
Yeah.
And that's all this Arsenal team needs. And I kind of feel sorry for Arteta in a way, but it can't go on like this. It can. It can't. It honestly can't. So I think if it doesn't work this season, and especially if they give him again another season after going trophyless and they go, right, one last dance, and that's what we'll call it.
I can't lie. If I was Arteta
at
at the end of the season and I've won nothing again, I might fucking resign.
Maybe consider
and just say, listen, I took this club.
Yeah, as far as I can.
And I don't think anyone would. I don't think that. I think he would fucking respect that.
Oh my god!
And be like, you know what?
Massively. I built it up.
The
but I
job
can't
he has
finish it.
done
Yeah.
has been like the most incredible job from where we're from. I mean, what we've discussed today about how high the levels are and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. Like, you have to remember that we prayed for times like this, and maybe this is, you know, but yeah, you can't just live in the past.
This is a really good question.
We've got to move forward.
This is a really good question.
We are good now. We've got to accept and we've got to win.
Yeah, another question, really good question, this one. If Arsenal go trophyless again this season, and Arteta himself decides, like Klopp, I'm going to take a step down and I want a new challenge and I want to move to a Barcelona or a Real Madrid, and they say we want you, and that doesn't go well for Xavi or whoever, and he decides, you know what, I can't win a trophy. I've not won. This is it. This is the project I've built, and I'm going to leave it like this, and I can't win anything. And he doesn't die. He doesn't sort of die on his sword. You know, it's that thing. Live long enough. Die a hero or live long enough
to
see yourself become the villain. So if Arteta decides to die a hero, because it could go Wenger for Arteta, it could go full on Wenger, which would be such a shame.
Which would be sad. This is what I'm trying to say.
This is what I'm saying. This is a great question. Would you be sadder if next season Arteta resigned willingly, would you be sadder knowing what could have been in terms of winning a trophy, or would you be sadder seeing Arteta turn into a villain like Wenger was and hounded out of the club and then get him replaced?
That is the worst case scenario.
Which
no, Arteta leaving him on bad terms is the worst case scenario because of what he's done to the club. It would be such a fucking shame if it got nasty and people were proper Arteta out.
So you'd be more sad about that?
I'd be more upset because I think, like, it took so many years for even Wenger to come back to the club. He doesn't really do that much with the club now. He's still pretty bitter about how it ended. He must be. I mean, he must be upset.
Yeah,
with how
probably.
It ended.
Yeah.
And it would be a shame knowing what like Arteta has done for the club and the love he's brought back, the atmosphere, the culture that he's made. It would be sad if that turned and we went more into those end of Wenger days, and I would hate that because it was so vile.
If Arteta decided after this season, I can't win for whatever reason, I'm going to resign because I can't get this team over the line. Sort of like, you know, when prime ministers resign because they can't get it over the line. Would you be like? Because I'd be so sad thinking, oh, just give it one more season. I think some fans would be happy, but
it depends when we get in. I mean, it depends. I don't know. If he doesn't want it, then he doesn't want it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
like,
but I just think he's doing it because fans are probably being like, he probably is.
I guess he could just. It didn't happen for Xhaka at this club for whatever reason, and then he went to Leverkusen.
Okay, here's another question for you. If we don't win a season this year, if we don't win a trophy this year, do you give Arteta one more season? But how long before it gets toxic? Is it another season? Is it this season?
I think if we didn't win anything this season.
At all. Yeah.
And then we went another season where we had, let's say, by Christmas we were out of the league, and I think it would get pretty shit.
See, I think this season it's going to be 50-50. I think at the end of the end of the season, if we don't win a trophy, I think there'll be 50% of people that are Arteta out, 50% of people that aren't.
I agree.
And then if it gets, like you say, to halfway between next season, I think 70 to 80% of fans will want Arteta out.
Because I just don't see how that atmosphere.
Right.
I don't see how that atmosphere when a fan base becomes really split about a manager. I can't think of many cases in which it is conducive of like success.
Success, yeah.
Can you think of that? When it's so split.
Unless it's a team like Real Madrid and they've got Ancelotti and people care less about the manager and more about the team, and that's the thing. We are in danger of Arsenal Football Club
becoming a cult of Arteta,
caring more about Arteta than the actual club.
That's what I'm saying.
And this is what I mean. I think some Arsenal fans, like die-hard Arsenal fans, really care about the club, the Arsenal Football Club, and they're really not too precious about players and managers and more about the success of the club, which I actually find weird because I think that's what makes a club is the players and the managers. But also you've got to look at the bigger picture. And it's like we were successful before we had all these players. We were successful before all these managers. We will be successful after them, after they all
come and
go.
go,
Yeah, come and go.
I mean,
and I think sometimes you have to put aside your bias and your connection to a manager or a player and go, is this right for us?
Yeah. And it's the fans that make the club.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if the fans decide that this isn't right, well,
yeah,
you know, and I would hate for Arteta's legacy to end in kind of bad terms or not end. I would obviously love for it to end with success. It would be such a good feeling because we built it. I never want to, and I would say I don't ever want to be like Chelsea or someone like that where we don't have you chop and change players and managers every season and it's all weird and it's a horrible club. I hate Chelsea. I just don't like what's going on there. And I wouldn't ever want to be in United's position where they sack managers and shit. And I appreciate what we've got, right? But there is a world out there in which we can bring in the manager and be really successful. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, it's like being in a relationship and you might, you don't know whether to stick or twist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck knows.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. It's like, part of me would almost...
Are we going to marry him or not?
Part of me would almost like for Arteta himself to actually, if we don't win a trophy this season, to leave on his own accord, go and
win loads of trophies.
Go somewhere else, even if he doesn't win, but he probably will. Go somewhere else, win some trophies somewhere else in a league that's easier with another team, with another group of players.
Yeah.
Then maybe come back in 5 to 10 years
Yeah.
as an older manager, and then see if he can give it another go.
Yeah.
And then
because ultimately, did anyone when Arteta came in, if you said, right, here are the job requirements, Arteta. We need you to do this, 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 and this. If he's fucking done all that and gone,
he didn't expect.
He's completely smashed the job. Like,
but
let's be honest,
think the board.
He smashed it.
I think the board probably thought, based on what other managers and these reputation, because there is scouts, like there's player scouts, there's manager scouts.
Yeah.
I think people would have gone like a bit like Xabi Alonso, like this guy's going to the top.
Yeah, and I don't dispute that he is a top. He's a world-class manager, and I also think if he went to Barca or somewhere like that, he probably could win titles. But I just think that things inevitably become stale in football after a while. I mean, how many managers in modern football stay at a club that long? I mean, even at City, it's getting stale.
I know, it's getting...
I think that's
what I mean.
And
that's what I mean. With City, I kind of feel sorry for City fans in a way because it's even kind of worse for them.
Fucking Pep
because
go?
Pep,
it's like
he's won so many trophies, and it's clear as day to me, as an objective standpoint, that they actually need to change.
I actually
need
agree,
a new coach.
I think I
And
agree.
it's not because I don't think Pep could still win a title, because I think, maybe, but I think they just need to change anyway.
I just think,
they need
it's
to change.
time.
It's a club. They need a new manager. They need new
it
ideas.
helps that bounce, a bit of a feeling about a new age.
They've got new players, and I think you should have left a couple of seasons ago. I think you should have left, 1 or 2 seasons ago.
Or maybe even just last season, potentially.
Yeah.
But
it is what it is, because he looks a bit... I watched his pre-match interview today, and he looks like he's gone mad.
A little bit.
Doesn't look the same. I think even he needs a fresh...
I think
he needs a holiday. He needs a fucking holiday,
something.
mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to go to bed. So speaking of holiday, we've got a night shift, mate.
I know.
So all right. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Sorry the audio's not that great. We're fixing the mic. Yeah, shut the hell up. We're working on the mic situation. But yeah, make sure to obviously like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. We really appreciate your support. Anyone listening, thank you for listening. And yeah, we'll sort the mic situation out for next time.
Cheers, guys.
See you in a bit.
Have a good one.
Bye.